Hello, Liz Blake speaking, and this is day 9 of 30 Days Live, where I'm touching on for a few minutes each night onto some areas that we are really standing for and some of the things we're standing against that are really important in the path of entrepreneurship. It comes down to personal practice, and tonight we'll spend just a few minutes on your path forward. What is the path? What is the most effective path forward to success? And this could apply to your career or anything, but the context here is as an entrepreneur and probably with corporate experience, or you're already existing as in a business. So we're talking about your path forward. What is the kind of professional development, personal development, or training that is the most effective to get you into success? Because success, of course, is an ongoing thing, but it has milestones along the way. Okay, so there's two things to grow in this process. There are your skills and the externals. There is this, the skills, your product development, your offers. There's the tech, there's technology you need to learn. So there's all those skills. Okay, and then there's you and the you part. So there's firstly the technical and those skills. That's the, let's call them external, and that is the information. Okay, now the vast majority of what goes for professional development or personal development comes into this category. Okay, it's all about the skills, what to do, how to sequence things, how to put things together, all that sort of thing there. But that's very important. The information is important, but that's all that is. And then there is you, the person, your capacity to be the person that you envisage for your future. You have to be able to be that person. It doesn't just magically appear to carry the success, because actually success can basically destroy us if we don't have that capacity, if we don't develop that. So there is you, there's the character, there's the resilience, the self-leadership, there is the initiative, the ability to switch yourself on, switch yourself off, many things. So that's you. And the beauty of that is that as you grow, as you expand, and this growth is not some weird navel gazing thing, or very self-serving thing. This growth is an expansion of yourself, and that is transformation. That is transformation. Now, for professional development, we need the information and the transformation. Now, I don't have a percentage, but honestly, I could make a wild guess and say that 99% of everything that is out there, at least 99% probably, is information. Of course, I made up that statistic, but I'm making a point. And that is also the expectation that most people have in taking a course or whatever, is that I need to learn more. Now, I'm a person who I love learning. I love information. I love learning that, but that is not what transforms me. Okay, so what kind of courses do you choose to pick that are going to be the most effective? In other words, to put your money in the place that it's going to work the best, the fastest, the most effective, and going to bring you, can you get transformation? Do you get information and then transformation? Could you get transformation and then information? Could you do both at once? So these, in fact, number 2 and number 3, you can do actually both of those. Information is just information. We say that knowledge is power, but that's a little bit outdated. It's very limited. Knowledge in a context is power, but the context is that in your transforming self. So the transforming thing is to be able to do the business, to be able to carry the business, and pardon me, and to actually implement, execute on what you're learning. That's the single biggest mistake we make. I've made it too, but that entrepreneurs make, is that learning all this stuff and not executing. Okay, so now sometimes, and most times, the courses and everything is structured, the training and mentoring is structured so that it's information and then go and implement, by the way. Here's the information, go and implement. And actually there is an alternative. And it's an alternative. That's what we use. That's what I use. But I would very, very much recommend that process, that approach, which is transform while you're getting the information. Choose a process that is transformative while it's informing, because that way you will skip forward so fast, so much faster. You will be implementing very quickly, like immediate. You'll be implementing immediately because you're transforming as you go. This is a process that we use, a model that we use, but you will be implementing, whereas others who are doing the information, the vast majority of people in their businesses or starting a business will be, inform, learn, and hardly ever get to implement, or they only implement a little bit. And in this process of transformation and success by transformation with information, this process, there's no BS, there's no nonsense about it. This is really real. It's where the rubber hits the road. And so I just wanted to bring that to you this tonight, just as to consider the most effective way of professional development for yourself to bring you into success as an entrepreneur quickly. And if you're at a level of success there, it take you up very, very quickly, to a much higher level. Or if you're down here, take you up there. Okay, thanks for joining me. See you next time.